Good afternoon. I'm Sock Marionette, a middle aged lady in a tiara, talking about books and hosting a sprinting live stream. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be here because it is, in fact, Thanksgiving Eve. So a lot of people are either wrapping up work or getting their house organized or whatever they need to do for the holidays. So people may show up, they may not. You may be watching this later, in which case, thank you for doing so. Appreciate it. Uh, so I'm going to just follow the usual whatchamacallit format of we start off with a 10-minute sprint, which we call 10 minutes of yuck, TM Nicole, because I kind of have that 10 minutes. It's just like so people can like take care of things that they've been putting off or don't want to do for more than 10 minutes. So 10 minutes of answering emails, making phone calls, paying bills, cleaning the bathroom, whatever it is. And then we can come back and have some fun. So I think, yeah, my counter is showing that there's nobody here, and that's not surprising. Like I said, it's kind of a busy day for a lot of folks. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and plunge into the 10 minutes of yuck. So I will put a note about that on the screen if anybody kind of shows up. They'll know what's what, who's who, and what is what. Let's see. 10, whoops. Now how you spell that? 10 minutes of yuck until, let's see, it's like two after, until 12 minutes. 12 minutes past the hour in most places. Okay, because I know some places are like off by half an hour or 15 minutes or whatever around the world. It's kind of interesting how different countries chose to handle that. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself and I'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll see if anybody's had a chance to drop in or not. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, at least for me. I see some people came in well, Kristen came in. Actually, everybody came in just as I was starting the sprint. So if I had waited a minute or two more, I have pause that refreshes. I have Diet Coke with lime. Very tasty. And let's say hello to some folks. Kristen Lee says, hey. Hey, Kristen. And she adds, I'm mid-bake mode. Nice. I made promises. I said that if we want to, I can time the sprints to baking times that people have. So if you're like, I'm putting a pie in the oven and I would like a minute to put it in the oven and 35 minutes to bake it, and then another 5 minutes to take it out of the oven, we will sprint for 41 minutes or whatever. So if anybody's doing any holiday baking, or just tell us what you're baking, that would be cool too. I mean, that would be really cool. And Ana's here as well. Hi, Ana. There's some ambient noise. And Ana says, I just finished mixing up the cake. Have you preheated the oven? This is pineapple that includes cream cheese in some capacity. It sounds really, really fabulous. I hope I'm still here. I got another I got this, I think last time I was getting like flashes on the screen and I was like, wait a minute, did I just lose my connection? I sure hope not. Anyway, so if anybody wants to give me a thumbs up and let me know if I'm still here, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, yesterday I did some shopping. Oh no, I'm not seeing a thumbs up. Am I even here? This is where I have to go look at YouTube. My screen keeps flashing. I'm just going over to YouTube to see whether I'm on screen or not. Okay. Okay, I seem to be on screen. That was fun. Anyway, so yesterday I did some shopping. I picked up the roast. I'm having pork roast with sausage stuffing, which seems like it's doubly haram. Is that the opposite of halal? It's not kosher, which is treif. So it's doubly treif, as in not kosher, and doubly not halal. And I picked up some veg to have with that and some baked goods because I didn't really feel like doing any baking. But I forgot to get some creamer for my coffee, and my mom wanted some turkey chili. So I ran up to Dollar General earlier today and got that taken care of. Now I have 3 kinds of creamer. I have French vanilla, peppermint mocha, and Reese's, like Reese's peanut butter cups in creamer format. I'm leery but game. And what I was going to do today was there's a lot of traffic. I'm actually started during the 10 minutes of yuck. For me, it wasn't yuck because I spent a lot of time changing my sheets. Now that I have the adjustable bed, that's really kind of a pain in the neck. So it takes a long time. And so I did that earlier. And then during the 10 minutes of yuck, for me, it wasn't 10 minutes of yuck. I was feeling a little too mellow to do yuck. So I decided to start a reading vlog. And that is the Nora November. I've been talking about Nora November basically all month, and I'm finally going to do it, which is this is hosted by Tina of Tina Book and Craft Corner, I think is the name of her channel. I keep forgetting. And Lee of Dark Roots Creations. And the idea is just to read Nora Roberts in November, one book, all the books, whatever, and to make it a little more fun, to do something that the characters do in the book. Like if somebody goes for a walk in the woods, go for a walk in the woods. If somebody, bakes a cake, bake a cake. If somebody goes to the movies, go to the movies, that kind of thing. I mean, you could, I suppose, get amnesia and be on the run and fall in love, but it seems like a bit much around the holidays. So I decided that I missed almost all of November on this, but we still have a few days. So I'm going to start in on that, and I'm going to start it today. So I recorded a clip for that during the 10 minutes of yuck. And I thought I could maybe get some audience participation We're not getting a lot of comments, probably because people are just like listening because they're trying to get cakes in the oven or out of the oven or whatever, or what, anyway. But I thought I would run some Nora Roberts titles past people and see if they had any thoughts on what I should read, or I could just pick for myself. I think I talked about these last week as well. We've got this. Now, these are books that have more than one Nora Roberts book in them. They're omnibus. This one is called Summer Dreams, and it has Dual Image and Untamed. These are like, were originally published by Silhouette, which is part of Harlequin at the time, in the 1980s. So they're shorter category romances. I may or may not be able to finish them in a single afternoon. So I've got two here. This one's Suspicious. There are three. And this one is Truly Madly Manhattan. And there are two. The thing is I was thinking, well, this one has this lovely Central Park in the wintertime image. But it turns out that it has an overlap with one of the books in Summer Dreams. So I'm a little confused. Ana says, I've got 25 minutes until I need to get up again. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Summer Dreams, these two, like I said, they have one book in common, Dual Image, which is about a film director. She's an actor. He's a film director. And he has written a script about a semi-autobiographical script about this dude and his horrible ex-wife. She's his ex-wife. So it's like a second chance entertainment industry kind of story. That's in both of these books, Summer Dreams and Truly Madly Manhattan. The other book in Truly Madly Manhattan is Local Hero, which is about a comic book writer and a single mom. And the single mom's son is very big into comic books. And he's very excited when he finds out that his new neighbor is this guy who writes this comic he likes. And so that sounds kind of fun. And then, of course, Dual Image is the other one. Let's see. The other book in Summer Dreams is about a lawyer who ends up in the circus. He's a lawyer who is inherited his father's circus. And she is, I don't know what exactly she does. She's a lion tamer. So animal cruelty that we didn't realize was animal cruelty at the time. Maybe it's a cruelty-free circus. One can hope. So those are those books. And then Suspicious, like I said, has three. Let's see. We have rival investigative reporters in New Orleans in a book called Partners. The Art of Deception is another book called Art of Deception. Supposedly he had come to her father's estate looking for respite, or respite if you're British. But was handsome Adam Haynes the man he pretended to be? Question. And then finally, Night Moves. Working on some night moves. Okay, the small town offered peace to the widowed Maggie Fitzgerald, but when sexy Cliff Delaney unearthed a skeleton in her backyard, she found herself playing detective with him and wondering what was possible in the heat of the night, in the heat of passion. So those are the options. I'm kind of leaning toward the one about the single mom and comic book writer, but if anybody has any opinions, let me know. And okay, so Anna has to get up again in 25. Oh, I keep jostling my computer cart. She says she has 25 minutes. She said that like 3 or 4 minutes ago. So I'm not sure how we want to time the sprints. They really lean into the winter theme on this book design. Like at the start of each chapter, there's a graphic of snowflakes. Again, I'm not sure exactly how. I think it might be that Dual Image has a dual timeline because like now they're divorced, but maybe there's some stuff where they originally met and fall in love and or early days in their marriage or something. So maybe that's the part that takes place in summer. I'm not sure. I will eventually find out, but maybe not today. I don't know. Okay, so let's Let's see. So I am in beautiful downtown, my sitting room, uh, hanging out on the couch, just vibing. And I have my don't tell anybody, but Jack and George, the turkeys, are hanging out, and they have their social worker, Miss Wellspring, Charity Wellspring, Miss Wellspring. I couldn't find her before the live stream. I was like calling down to my mom, "Have you seen Miss Wellspring?" And she's like, "I don't know." I eventually found her, but I think she was having a lingering lunch. So plan your sprints at your pace, says Kristen. Okay, I just thought it might be fun if I timed it to people's baking, but I don't have to. Yeah, so why don't we go into the first sprint? I think we'll just do a half an hour. That'll take us, well, I'll round it up a couple of minutes. So we'll go to 5 minutes to the hour, 55 minutes past. And I'm going to go ahead and start Local Hero, which is the one about the single mom, the comic book writer. And I'll let you know what the tea is after 30 minutes. Actually, let's see. Instead of 30 minutes, let's just go to the top of the hour. That's like 37 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Kristen says brownies just came out, waiting on pumpkin pies. Nice. The chocolate pie. Woo, and the banana bread and ube crinkles. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the ube crinkles that you got the recipe from the Jessie Squanto. Is that her name? Book? Anyway, we were talking about that. Okay, let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and set the sprint for the top of the hour. So that's a little bit longer than a half an hour. And I will see you then and let you know what's going on with the book. And we're back. Ugh. Okay, Ana said sounds good to the length of the sprints. And then she said, so we have discovered that I am not good at excuse me. So we have discovered that I am not good at making cakes from scratch. Parts of it are edible. And she has little icons showing that cookies, great. Breads, great. Cakes. And Lisa's here, the Lost Coffee Mug. She says, hey, everyone, I lost track of time. I wasn't expecting to see you at all because I know you're rushing to get everything squared away. Or have you finally gotten everything squared away as for work? And now you can kind of relax for the rest of the day. I actually ended up reading for about a half an hour out of the sprint because I had some other stuff to do. Just a few minutes of stuff. And I'm on page, I think, 74 now. It's longer than I realized. I wonder if this was originally a special edition because in this book, it's the first half and it's 247 pages long, and I'm on page 74. This is Local Hero by Nora Roberts. Lisa says, we have everything done through Monday, so now I can just work ahead and relax. But nice. So the book is called Local Hero. It's in this omnibus. It's called Truly Madly Manhattan because these are two books by Nora Roberts that both take place in Manhattan. They were originally published by Silhouette in the 80s. This was an omnibus reissue in the early 2000s. This book that I'm reading, Local Hero, is copyright 1988. The same year I graduated from high school. And I actually lived in Manhattan for part of 1980, from September, late August onward, because I was going to NYU. So when they talk about the snow in Manhattan, well, she probably wrote it in 1987. But anyway, so yeah, this is the one that's about a comic book artist who is the neighbor to a single mother. She and her son, Hester is her name, and her son, Radley, move into the same apartment building where he lives. And so far, and part of the Nora November challenge is to do something that characters in the book do, if you feel like it, and if it's feasible. And so, so far, we have characters who have moved into a new apartment, started a new job, started a new school. We have a single dude who has insinuated himself into the lives of the single mom and her son, because she's pretty, but he actually he really likes the kid, and they have a cute relationship, he and the kid. And I kind of understand why he and the kid have a good time hanging out. I don't quite understand what he likes about the single mom, other than that, she's pretty, and yeah, he likes that she's a good mom. And he kind of hits on her. He kisses her, and at first she's like, oh yes, this is awesome. And then she's like, nah, I can't do this right now. I'm a single mom. I can't have a casual relationship. I need to concentrate on my new job and everything. And he gets really mad. He doesn't express his anger. We find out that he's mad from his internal it's third person, but we kind of have some access to the character's thoughts. So we know that he's mad. I mean, he doesn't yell at her or anything. He's just like, maybe you should reconsider. And then they kind of leave it at that, because I'm page 74 of 247. So what else have they done that I could potentially do? They went for a walk in the park with the dog. Can't do that. Don't have a dog. I mean, I do have the stuffies, but I don't take them outside because they don't deal well with the elements. Oh yeah, at one time, they order a pizza. I don't really live in a great neighborhood for pizza delivery. It's just too far removed from the pizza places, and it's just easier if I go pick it up myself. Uh, but we could have a pizza. And also, he helps her make stir-fried chicken. Well, yesterday, before I started reading this book, I helped my mom make stir-fried chicken for lunch yesterday. So I chopped some vegetables, which is what he does. So I can do that. Let's see, they have a glass of wine. I haven't, I can't really drink wine anymore because I get heartburn. So that's out. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, she's kind of judgy about his being a comic. First, that he reads comic books, and then when she realizes that he actually is a professional comic book artist, she's super judgy about that. Again, it's 1988, so people had a different attitude back then. And also, she's just super judgy in general. He's kind of judgy. The story switches point of view like from one paragraph to the next. Like we get his point of view, we get hers, actually the first bit is from the kid's point of view, we get the dog's point of view, we get her assistant's point of view, and it's just like kind of a little bit dizzying. Comment from Ana who says, I just realized my stream was paused. Oh no. Well, you missed some prime monologuing about Local Hero by Nora Roberts. Anyway, I really it would be very nice if at some point in this story somebody stretches out on a couch to read a romance novel while wearing a tiara, because I got that covered. That I can do. Oh, somebody had a soda. I'm having a soda. So there is that. So far I'm enjoying it. It's kind of rough, and it definitely reads like something that was published in the last century. So, and especially since back then, in particular, romance was a very conservative genre. And I don't mean that in a political sense, although, yeah, kind of political, social sense of being conservative. I just mean that in being kind of cautious and cautious in some ways, but in other ways, it's just like, oh, yes, it's fine that he's just waltzing into her apartment and helping himself to pizza because, that's just what you do in a romance novel in 1988. So, yeah. But I mean, I don't hate it or anything. I like I said, I mostly am enjoying the relationship, the budding friendship between the single guy and the kid. The kid's 9, by the way. And they're cute together, and the dog is cute, big but cute. So, what's everybody else up to? Ana says her cake didn't turn out all that great. I forgot to turn off my reading light, so give me a second. There we go. Maybe I'm a little more balanced now when it comes to the lighting. Trying to stay awake, says Lisa. Well, if you could find your coffee mug, that might help. The turkeys have been hiding in the couch cushions, and Miss Wellspring has been trying to reassure them. If they have some bakery goods, you're set. Not so far, but still going strong, says Kristen. Yeah. So, might be time for another stream. I mean, another sprint. Oh, somebody's got a comment. Pumpkin pie is taking forever. Pumpkin pie is kind of like a surprisingly, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Lengthy bake time. Ooh, it's gotten really, really dark out. I mean, the sun sets early, but it's just clouding over. Mom Marionette ran off to go to the library one last time because the library we usually go to is like taking the entire 4-day weekend. So she decided to go in and return some books and pick some up because they're not going to be open again until Monday. The other library that's close to us, they actually are just closed tomorrow, and they're closing early today, and then they're closed tomorrow, and then they're going to be back at it on Friday. So anyway, so I am kind of ready to get back into it. So unless anybody has any, another comment. Ana says, I am decompressing and starting reading my Jurassic Park book. Oh yeah, yeah. You said you found the Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park. I listened to that as an audio book. Might have even been an abridged version, but I think it was the whole thing back around the time that the movie came out. So that was over 30 years ago. Oh wow. Anyway, some of you were like, yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah, I didn't even know how to read yet because I was one. Okay, or I wasn't even born yet. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get back into it, and let's see. This time, let's go for uh 34 minutes. We'll go to a quarter 45 minutes past the hour, quarter to the next hour. And I always struggle to spell the word sprinting. I don't know what that's about. Sprinting until 45 minutes past. Okay. So enjoy your baking adventures or books or whatever else it is you're doing. Maybe Lisa could take advantage of the sprint to do a little napping. Anyway, see you soon. And we're back. And we had Tara stopped by to say, "Hi, Sock. I love your tree. Thank you. This is actually my food themed tree. I keep it up all year round." And Gwen stopped by and said, "Hi, Sock. You wanted to see my shelves? I posted 2 on Discord under shelfies. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to looking at them during the next sprint." Kristen says, "I want a new bag." And well, we're at it, new feet too. Yeah, I feel you. Yesterday, I was out driving around and doing errands, and my Princess Hobblefoot, my foot that's been bothering me, she's been doing pretty good lately, but she was pretty tired and sad by the end of the day, and my back was stiff because it wasn't just a lot of driving, but it was a lot of defensive driving because people were kind of driving like jerks. It's just like, I don't know what that's all about. So yes, I understand. And this morning, my knees were really messed up. I had to go down the stairs, like double foot the stairs. Anyway, they seem to have stretched out a little bit though, so I'm happy about that. Aren't they miserable? Says Kristen. Yes. Okay, I recorded another clip for my Nora November vlog, and so I didn't. Hang on a second. Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure that that video had converted for editing purposes. So I didn't actually read the whole time. I read for about 20 minutes, and I am now up to page 118. And Kristen says, "All the kids are out this week, so the parents dragged them to my Target and clogged the aisles." I didn't see too many kids when I was out yesterday. They might have been still in school. I'm not sure exactly what the school schedule is like, and I was actually not in my own community either. Um, but I went to the grocery store. I went to I did go into a Target. I don't see very many people at all. Of course, that was yesterday. So anyway, just where I picked up at the beginning of the sprint in this book, uh, she comes home in a bad mood, and he sees her, and she has a black eye. Well, first she's in a bad mood, and he just is kind of uh feels a bit starchy about that because she's kind of short with him, so he's short with her. And then the next time he sees her, which is just like an hour or so later, she's got a big old black eye because she got mugged on the subway, and she fought the mugger. And he's like, he's justifiably saying you shouldn't fight a mugger, you know, you just let him have the purse. And she was already having a bad day, and when the mugger mugged her, she just didn't even think about it. She just fought him off, and she got to keep her purse. So, but he says, let's just back this is him talking to her. "Let's just back up a minute. In the first place, you've got no business taking the subway alone." She let out what might have been a laugh. "You've got to be kidding." The funny thing was, he couldn't remember ever having said anything quite that stupid. It brought his own temper bubbling over. So I like that he realizes he's just said that, like, it's the stupidest thing in the world, and his reaction to that is just to dig in. That's a very human reaction, I think. So I kind of enjoyed that. She does something similar later on in the book, and I'm like, yes, they are people behaving like people. I like that. Okay, Grandpa. Yeah, I mean, he's being totally irrational, and he knows that, but it just makes him like even more irrational. Like I said, I think that's just like a very human reaction, and I kind of enjoyed that. 1980s much, says Gwen. Yes, this was, in case you missed it, this was copyright 1988. But I mean, he does, like I said, he does realize that he's being completely unreasonable. Anyway, so I looked it up, and this was originally a Silhouette special edition, and the cover is super 80s. So anyway, it is growing on me. It's growing on me. I'm getting kind of more used to the rhythm of the story and the POV switches and so on. So I'm at the point where she's just found out that in addition to being a comic book artist, he's like kind of from a very wealthy family. So, oh, and they've done a couple of things. I don't want to get mugged, so I'm not going to do that for my activity related to the book. However, uh, they do watch a couple of movies. They have a video double feature because she and her son were going to go out for cheeseburgers in a movie, like a mother son kind of date. But of course, she's just gotten mugged and she's tired. So he brings his VCR up to her place because VCRs are, super expensive and video cassettes themselves are expensive. So he brings that up and he picks up some cheeseburgers. And so the three of them have cheeseburgers and they watch a double feature. They watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and Singing in the Rain. And I would not mind watching either of those movies again. So maybe I will. Maybe that can be my thing. Of course, they also have hot beverages. So because it is, it's winter in Manhattan, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like around the holidays. They haven't mentioned the holidays at all. So it might be like winter as in like January, February, as opposed to December. So I'm getting into it a little bit more. I'm just about halfway, I guess. I'm page 118 out of 247. So a little smidge bit under halfway. So what else? What's everybody else been up to? Anybody been doing any reading? How's Jurassic Park? How are the baked goods turning out? There's a comment. There we go. Both are good choices for movie watching, says Tara. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I could just kind of like sit here and think about them. I've seen them both enough times, especially Singing in the Rain. Oh man, have I seen Singing in the Rain so many times. So, yes. The baking will be tonight, says Lisa. Ooh, what are you making? What are you making? Because Kristen's got a whole roster of stuff she's working on. She's got like she's doing a pumpkin pie, which is taking forever because that's how pumpkin pies are. She made some ube crinkle cookies, and I think was she also making brownies? Kristen, weren't you making brownies? I am reading A Week to Be Wicked by Tessa Dare. Nice. I've read like one or two Tessa Dare books, and I really enjoyed them both. So, and Lisa says apple cranberry pie, ooh, and pumpkin pie, ooh, apple cran. Those both sound really good, but apple cran, that sounds really nice. Let's see. When I was at Dollar General earlier, I looked at the books and they had a book by Anne Gracie, but it wasn't from the Brides Quartet. It was from a different series. I think it was called uh The Rake's Daughter or something like that. It looked interesting, but I didn't get it. So there, that was a worthwhile anecdote. Yes, and pumpkin pie is finished finally. Were the brownies like special ingredient? I mean, when I say special ingredient, I don't mean like you went to the dispensary for the ingredient. I mean like were they just like classic brownies or Irish cream brownies or anything like that? Ooh, apple cranberry sounds so good, says Tara. It does, it really does. I should send you the recipe. It's from my grandma. Ooh, I would not mind having that. Tara Talks Books, are you on Discord? I can send it to you as well. Uh, you could post it in the food corner if you're on the Tea and Biscuits Discord. I don't know what communities you frequent on Discord. Anyway, so yes, says Tara. I'm not sure what that emoji is, if that's an applause emoji or a waving emoji, but either way, there's a friendly emoji there. I'm continuing to enjoy my Diet Coke with lime. I don't know if Mom Marionette is back from the library or not. Hmm. She must be. uh, I'm kind of enjoying doing the live stream in the sitting room because I usually do it in my bedroom. I think I'm able to relax a little bit more in here. It just feels much more relaxed, or maybe that's just my overall energy and not a function of the room that I am in. I'm kind of ready for another sprint. I want to see what these two crazy kids get up to. Well, the two crazy adults and the one crazy kid. The dog, by the way, is named Taz for the Tasmanian Devil, the cartoon character. And he's like 150 pounds or something. He's a huge dog. I don't know what breed he is. He might be just a giant mutt. I don't know. He sounds pretty cool. Uh, Lisa says, I mean, Tara says to Lisa, I am on Discord. And Gwen says, the Perfect Waltz is part of the Meridew Sisters series. I think the one I saw was part of some kind of Brides of the Garden, Reluctant Rake and Gracie. Mm, the Rake's Daughter was the one I saw, which is part of the Brides of Bel Air Gardens. It's the second book in Brides of Bel Air Gardens, the Rake's Daughter. It is oh, I see, they're all daughters. So you have the Scoundrel's Daughter is book one, the Rake's Daughter is book two, the Heiress's Daughter is book three, and the Secret Daughter is book four. And let's see. First book was published in 2021. Okay. The second, Rake's Daughter, was 2022, and Eris's Daughter and Secret Daughter were both in 2024. That is, again, the Brides of Bel Air Gardens. The covers are very nice. I definitely need to try some more Anne Gracie, says Tara. Huh. Based on the covers, these might also be like seasonal. So, yeah, I might go back and pick that up. It is the second book, but I don't unicorn, as Gwen would say. I'm not too worried about that because usually the books aren't super dependent on reading them in order. I do actually have The Winter Bride. So the after reading The Autumn Bride was that October that we read that for the book club? Yeah. Yeah. Um, and I think I mentioned this last week or in a vlog, but oh, okay, I can't find it, but I have Holiday by Gaslight. I thought it was in easy arm's reach, but I'm not finding it. Hang on. It's just such a pretty book that I decided to go ahead and buy a physical copy. I think I did that actually during the stream because it was on sale at Amazon. There was a couple bucks off. Okay, like I said, I'm kind of ready for another sprint. Let's see. I am. It is just about 4 where I am, so it's just about the top of the hour. So let's go until 30 minutes past the hour. So I'll see you in about a half an hour. And it's been another half hour, and still a couple of people hanging out. Nice, thank you. Um, the turkeys, I don't know if you noticed, but the turkeys are hiding out in the tree for now. Everybody's pretending like it's a successful hiding operation. I am on page 192, I think. Lisa says gobble gobble. Yeah, I'm on page 192, so I've got 55 pages left. One more half-hour sprint and I'll be done. A couple more things they've done. They've washed the dishes, so I can certainly do that. He stops by her workplace and gets her to go back to his place for lunch. So there's a nooner. I'm not going to do that. So yeah. Oh, and also at least 2, maybe even 3 times they've had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I have no problem with that. I could certainly do that, especially since I'm kind of hungry. We had breakfast late, so I actually never got around to having lunch. So I'm getting a little peckish, but I'm good for another half-hour sprint while I finish Local Hero by Nora Roberts. So we've reached the point where he's had a major professional milestone. His comic book has been optioned to become a movie, and they want him to write the screenplay or at least be a creative consultant. He has proposed marriage to Hester, but she's hesitant because her first marriage was so bad. Of course, her first marriage, they got married right out of high school. She was only 17. She's like, I wasn't quite 18 yet. I'm like, lady, you got married when you were 17 and you're like surprised that it turned out poorly. Okay. I mean, it doesn't always when you get married that young, but in her case, it did. And it's like, you're not the same person you were when you were 17, and he's not your ex husband. So, you know, I can understand her hesitancy though. So, presumably, they will sort it all out by the end. I'm going to be able to listen to my audio book this sprint. What are you listening to, or did you say already and I forgot? It is now dark. I mean, I think our official sunset is right around 4:30 or 4:40, and so it's pretty dark now. And I'm just waiting to see if Kristen wants to tell us what she's listening to, or maybe she wants to be mysterious. Oh, I forgot to look in the Discord to see Gwen's shelfies. Kristen says, I'm taking a 2-hour break. I'm finishing Given Pumpkin to talk about. Nice. Oh, is that the one you're doing that actually as an immersive read? Let's see. I want to look at Gwen's shelves while I'm thinking of it. Okay, let's see. Oh, for Pete's sake, I'm having trouble negotiating the. Oh, wow. I don't know if Gwen's still here, but those are gorgeous. Ooh. Every time I see people's books, I just want to go stay with them for a couple of weekends to just read all their stuff. Oh, Gwen is still here. Cool. Just read all their stuff. I'm reading 1750, says Gwen, the Jacqueline of the Legend of Nimue Hall series. The focus is on the house rather than the cast of characters. Ooh, well, you know I like good house stuff. In fact, I think You recommended, I can't remember what it was. It was the latest Nora Roberts a few months ago, and I read it. And it was house stuff, and I liked it. They were renovating a house, among other things. Oh, but those shelves, those are cool. I'm curious. A lot of intriguing black spines. Yeah, those are nice looking shelves. Well, I think I'm kind of ready for another half-hour sprint so I can finish this Local Hero by Nora Roberts and then have something to eat. But so we can sprint until 5 minutes past the hour. Sprint. Oh boy. Okay, I'll see you in about a half an hour, and by then I'll probably be done with my book. Okay, it's been just about a half an hour. I finished my book, and I'm going to give you a quick spoiler for Local Hero by Nora Roberts, copyright 1988. At the end, they decide to get married and to move to Connecticut. And what do you know? That's something I've already done. I've already moved to Connecticut. It's showing me that there's only one person still here. Gwen updated us on the Black Books on the Shelfie. She says, our Lexi Blake's Masters and Mercenaries series, snarky BDSM spy novels. The titles are a play on Bond titles, examples like The Dom Who Loved Me, A Dom is Forever, On Her Master's Secret Service. That sounds very intriguing. I have to look into that. Kristen says, hooray! And Gwen says, can you believe Amazon wants $14 for the audiobook of Local Hero? Don't do it. Just don't. I mean, I had a good enough time with it, but I wouldn't say to spend that much money on it. I mean, I didn't think you would, but I don't know how much they want for a like a Kindle. Let's see. Geez. Even the Kindle is $8. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on it. I got it at a library sale for probably a buck or two, and of course, it came with the other novel, Dual Image. So yeah, I did have a good time with it, but I wouldn't. I would definitely not plonk down that kind of cash for it. The turkeys are continuing to hide in the tree for now. And speaking of Amazon, Kristen says it wants $25 for a book that was free last week, and I have a HR left, historical romance left. I'm not sure what HR stands for in this particular context. Anyway, so it's now very thoroughly dark outside, and I'm still hungry. Let's see. Oh, 1 hour left. Well, I'm going to close it out because I got to go get something to eat. Thank you very much for joining me, either live or later if you did that. Yeah, I was probably more relaxed than I've been for a live stream in a long time. So I will be back next Wednesday, December 3rd. Wow. And we can talk about holiday plans or not, or whatever. I'll pick another book to read probably because I do like this format. And I don't think I'm going to any book sales or anything over the weekend or next week. I'm not sure yet. Kristen Lee says, happy Thanksgiving to you and your mom. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone here who celebrates. If you're watching this and you do not celebrate American Thanksgiving, well, I hope you have a happy week with whatever it is you are doing. Gobble, gobble, says Gwen. Yeah, I got to get these turkeys somewhere else. I don't know that hiding on the food tree was really the clever ploy they thought it was. And being mooned by Hello Kitty. Anyway, so yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you, like I said, next week. I was saying I'm not going to any library sales. The only thing I can think of is, depending on the weather and how I feel and so on, I might finally take my my unhaul books to Penny's Bookshelf in Milford, and I might end up picking up some books there with any store credit I manage to accrue. But I don't know if I'm going to do that in the next week. So again, thank you for joining me, and I hope everybody has an enjoyable week and with whatever it is you're up to, and bye.